Hello everyone, I hope you're doing quite well today. Today we are going to get right to it. I am going to be painting this picture from Catawba Island State Park. My boyfriend and I went up there and I stayed for the sunset, which was absolutely amazing. We had a lot of smoke from the Canadian fire up at Lake Erie. I'm in Ohio, so we drove up to Catawba Island from my town, and that was the picture I had taken. So I thought we would give it a go on screen. I am going to use my Montvale watercolor. It is a 5.5 by 8.5. And the watercolor paper is not bad. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad. And I am going to be using my custom palette that I had made, and in it is Danielle Smith's watercolor. I'm going to be working on another palette. Just what I need, like a hole in the head, is another palette. But I am anxious to try it. I have a couple reviews I need to do, but I have yet to do them, so that's okay. I've been trying to do a lot of paintings because I want to do some art and craft fairs. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw the horizon line. And that's all the drawing we're going to do for the most part. Well, I take it back. I guess I should probably shape out the rocks. So, kind of goes in like that and then around. So then we do not need this line. And I can go ahead and erase it. Basically, I'm just looking for a general shape. Kind of something along like that, and then down here I kind of want to loosely map out that there's rocks. Okay, because it's just my personal preference, it just gives me a little bit of a reference to go by. Okay, so our rocks, our trees, this probably needs to come out more, but if we need to adjust more, we can. So leaving the pencil and my kneaded eraser. And let's do this. I want to begin with the sky, and I gotta put 2 of them. I am going to use, if I can get my words out, and I need to turn the ring light back on so you guys can see a lot better. I am going to use my Silver Black Velvet 1/2-inch flat brush. And then I am also so far going to use my Da Vinci Cosmo Top Spin size 8 flat brush. Now, you can use any flat brush. We're going to backtrack, and I do need to sketch one more thing. And I want to put my sun in. Now, in the picture, it's more in the center. However, I don't like to directly put things in the center. So, I'm going to move it over and loosely sketch the sun. So then what I am going to do, I got this Molotow masking fluid. Now, I have not tested it on this paper, so this could be it could be a terribly bad thing. And I'm going to apply this. And the reason why I got this is for when I plein air, I can take it with me. So I kind of wanted to give it a shot and see how it did. Okay, my circle is not perfect, but hopefully with any luck, we can fix it. Okay, now that our masking fluid is dry, while it was drying, I went ahead off camera and I got out some lavender. I'm using cerulean blue chromium, quinacridone magenta, I believe it is, or quinrose, some pyro red, or no, scarlet red, I had to think. Let me double check. Maybe. It is pyro scarlet. So that's what that is. And then we got some cobalt turquoise. So according to the picture, I'm gonna first, I wanna do put some water on it. Now, this paper is not the greatest at wet on wet. I mean, it does okay, but you don't wanna like soak it. Like, I'm making sure it's shiny, and I went over where I did not want to go, but that's okay, because we can always dry it if need be. But basically, I want to go over the top part for the horizon. When I was up at the lake, it was so beautiful. I was gonna continue on painting, but it was getting really dark, and a lot of people was choosing to come as well, because the sunsets across the lake are just phenomenal. Well, phenomenal, if I can get my words out. And so I am kind of shy with the whole painting in public aspect of this plein air. So I did paint a painting when I was there, which I will show you on my sketchbook tour when I do that here soon. I'm almost done with my sketchbook, and I'm gonna try to get out one more video before Thursday, but however, I don't know if it's gonna be done, because on Thursday I have a really big plein air event, so I will be going and attending that. I am gonna go ahead and I want to start with the pinkish color, and I'm gonna go ahead and for now I'm gonna use my smaller size 8 flat brush, and I am gonna begin with this red color, and it kind of goes, and I gotta work relatively quickly because of, I want to have this be a soft blend. So we're going to take it across the horizon. And I went over that rock, but that's okay, because the colors are going to be quite dark anyway, so it's fine. And then this is where the flat brush comes in handy. We're just going to kind of take it and go like that. Now, this paper dries extremely quick, so I'm gonna go ahead now and take my bigger brush and taking a kind of big wash, very light wash, because once this is wet, we'll be able to go ahead and add more colors and work with it. So I'm gonna go down, and I'm kind of holding this because the paper, I should have clipped it, but I did not, or taped it. And then now I'm gonna bring on some of that lavender because the paper kind of wants to curl up a little bit. And we're just doing this loosely, guys. That's why it's in a sketchbook. But this lavender color I'm finding is, oopsie, really perfect for that sky color. And if you're using this type of paper, you're almost better off kind of taping it off. See, it got too dry there, but I might be able to work it out. Making that pretty lavender shade that's in there. So just kind of taking it. Sorry, the light I have to see is causing a little bit of a glare. Okay, now taking my brush, and what you want to do is, I'm just taking it on the side, and that's gonna hopefully help blend this edge out. And I think it needs to be a lot more right there. And we might have got some blooms, but that's okay. We'll work it out. And then it don't have to be exactly perfect. And then I'm gonna take, it looks like there's a little bit of pink up here that I should have left out, but I didn't. So, as if it's like poking through. Okay, so this is gonna need to dry. Okay, so now that our sky is almost dry, we're gonna go ahead and I wanna take some more of this Quin Rose. And we can start working a little bit on our water, and then we can go back to the sky. So taking the smaller flat brush, and get back on here. And then we'll touch up the sky, but right now I want it to finish drying. So lining it up directly with the sun, we're just gonna go ahead and I wanna put in some of these lines. And if you get too much water like I just did, you just kind of gotta dab it out. But so I'm just gonna go a little bit back and forth, kind of like in a Z motion is kind of like what I like to do. And you don't want to take it too wide, just about like so. And this is in a sketchbook, so it's fine. But basically I wanted to do the sunset study. Okay, there we go. And now I'm gonna go ahead and I want to take this cobalt turquoise and start working on the water. And for this, it is gonna be definitely wet on dry. And I am leaving right now very small patches of white, because what it's gonna do is give us hints of a reflection. Not reflection, but making it like the water is all shiny. It's gonna add the sparkle to the water. And I'm using my smaller flat brush for this. I just feel like I will have a little bit more control, which to me is pretty important. The water was just so magical looking. And then kind of going back over to darken up spots. One of my favorite things to paint is water. When I first started watercolor, I was so fascinated with the movement of water and how to capture it. And I have found that for me personally, I have the best luck doing water like this. Trying to keep my hand out of the way, but basically just using flat movements. And this water is gonna look amazing when it's done. Taking a little bit more of that cobalt turquoise, but I'm watering it down because I do not want it too dark, because this water to me is like a light cobalt turquoise. So just taking this is gonna look really pretty when it's done. And it's a great sunset water study. I like to use my sketchbooks for studies, and then I can go on if I wanted to and take what I learned from the study and from the plein air, or if I'm doing it at home in a sketchbook, to a final painting. Now, this may take a while, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the rest of this part, but basically this is all you're doing, is just making little lines across, because it's gonna show the movement of the water. And then we're gonna go ahead, and once this is dry, we'll go ahead and put a second coat. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the video and let you watch that way. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let that water dry, and we're gonna go ahead and put some more finishing touches on the sky. Sometimes the sky you have to do in multiple layers, I find. Sorry, trying to get this unlocked. It's being a pain in the butt. Okay, sorry about that. So, what I'm going to want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I want to take a little bit of this Pyro Scarlet, and I want to work that around the sun. Excuse me, oh my. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and touch this up. So now I am definitely working wet on dry, but I'm starting at the bottom And I'm going to move relatively quickly, taking those side motions because I want to blend this red color, this Pyro Scarlet, which if I get quiet, I'm concentrating because you kind of got to move a little quickly. Okay. And I wanted to make sure I have enough on the brush to get the effect I'm trying to get. Okay, so there we go. You want to make sure you're using enough water going down here quickly as possible. And then I am going to go ahead and shoot. Still using this quinacridone rose. And it don't have to be perfect through here because the trees are going to block a lot of it. Now, trying to move quickly, which is, and see, there's too much water. When something like that happens, it's going to perform a cauliflower, which we did not want. So, I did not. So, if that happens, we can try to work it out. And we'll just have to see. Sometimes you can fix it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm taking it a little bit more through the purplish phase because I like that in my sunsets. So taking that cerulean color. Okay. And trying to work up and doing this relatively quickly. And like I said, this paper is not the best sometimes for this technique, but it's gonna have to do. I'm gonna go ahead and try to quickly move to my other brush. It holds a bit more water and I can get a bigger area a lot more quickly. Now, I want to go ahead and take some of that pink for here and hit this spot again. Just so. And then trying to go quickly so it has, I don't lose that wet edge. Because that's what's going to give you, keeping that to an even consistency. See, and I'm going back over. You don't want to do that. I want to just keep going forward. And in this case, going up. Because if I go back over that now, some of those spots, it could definitely cauliflower. And now I'm taking the mixture between the cerulean and the lavender. Okay. And then I'm going to leave the sky alone. And now I'm going to go back down to the water and add some darker spots. So for this, I am going to take my cobalt teal once again. And add in water. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of ultramarine blue as well. That might have been phthalo blue. But that's okay. Here's ultramarine blue. I grabbed the wrong one. Because we're going to water this down anyway. We're just trying to get a darker mix. Okay. And then a little bit more of that. Not too much. There we go. We wanted a darker color, so now I'm going to take a little bit of water. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to dab and go back over it. And just trying to hit in darker spots. And this is what on dry. Because what this does is it's going to give it a more sense of depth. So, and I am just very loosely tapping it in. It's like swipe, 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 swipe. Movement of the wrist. Okay. And see, like, just that simple motion right here, it looks like there's a lot of movement to the water. And there's different shades. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I don't believe I have an endothrone on this, so I'm just going to add a little bit of black. And I don't want to add a lot. But I want to add a little bit. And that's not my black. That's purling green, and we don't want purling green. Okay. So I got a little bit of, I have, I believe it's Jane's Gray. Okay. So I'm getting a darker mix here. Even yet. And over here by the trees and stuff, I am going to want to put some more darks. And yeah, that is going to makes it look a lot better. Just, we need it a bit even more, because you want a light, like a medium, and then a dark. And if we need to go over any more in darker areas, we can. But adding just that little bit of black, or if you had an indigo, a Prussian blue, any of them darkers. I don't, so I went with black. I mean, I do, but not on this palette. So anyway, we just want to keep adding that dimension. Lovely. I love how it's looking. And then we'll probably still put dark. So now that this is all dry, and the sky is not as good as I would like, and I think it's the paper. But so now I'm going to go ahead and take some of this Jane's Gray and this darker that I mixed, and I'm just gonna start putting on some colors, making some a little darker, making some a little lighter, some blues, because there's a trick that I'm gonna do to make this a lot simpler. Adding some of these darks in. Beautiful. And you can leave some white spots. And then, so now I'm going to go ahead and I have this green Genuine Apatite, which is one of my favorites. And I'm going to try to make sure I have a watery mix, because I want to put that down. It's a granulating color, so, and then I'm going to take some of this Perline and try to use a watery consistency. And I want it to be a little darker on towards this. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead, and the top part needs to dry. Kind of going back and dabbing in some more of this rock color, because I want to make sure it's nice and wet for the effect I'm going to do here in a few seconds. Well, hopefully in a few seconds. I gotta look for the tool. Blending it in with that green. Okay. So, while this is wet, I'm gonna go ahead and I need to grab, hopefully it don't dry ahead of time. Okay. What I like to do is you can take a credit card. I have one of these, you know, like as one of the smaller size ones. And what you're gonna do is gonna around, I don't know if you can see, I'm just scraping because it's gonna give the effect of rocks. Okay, so there we go. So we're gonna have to wait for this to dry once again, and once it does, then we can add the trees. But in the meantime, I wanna, you can take like an eraser, your finger, whatnot, and I wanted to get this off. Okay, so I didn't do the greatest on this paper. Note to self. So let's fix that little bit right there. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this, rinse my brush so I don't get the wrong color. Okay, but we're gonna just go ahead and take that across. So this is why you find out like ahead of time, and like this is a sketchbook. So okay, so we have the sun. It's not quite the look I wanted, but that's okay. We're gonna live and learn on this lesson and for this study. So we're gonna go ahead and let this dry, and then when I'm gonna come back, we'll be able to do the trees, and then we'll finish talking about this. By the way, I love how those rocks are turning out. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm gonna use my Princeton Heritage size 2 round, and I do love how this turned out. I really do. And so I'm gonna go ahead and with my purling green, I'm gonna go ahead and put in the trees and the bushes. So there is try to move it. I don't want my hand to be in the way for you guys. So what I'm gonna do is over here, kind of hanging over the rocks a little bit, there is a bush. So I'm just gonna go ahead and very lightly fill in the bush and leaving spaces, because we just want to give like the hint of the bush. And then there's like a little thicker one kind of around in here, but kind of this area, just kind of round. And trying to get the shape of the one bush. And then we have a tree here. So go ahead and put that in. And I'm going to go ahead and put in it like that. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of that Genuine Apatite as well. And going down. Kind of like so. And then we got one more. So taking some more of that Perlin Green. And it's slightly higher. And I got a little bit too much of a blob, but that's okay. I'm holding the paper down once again. And they kind of connect, so I'm going to go ahead and connect them, but I don't want it to be too watery of a consistency. And just kind of taking it down like so. Okay. And then on this, we just kind of, I'm going to go like that. I'm leaving a little bit of a space here, but kind of like so. And then I kind of want to go over that a little bit more. So, okay, given the appearance is the main thing. Okay, so that is our rough sketch. It's not all the way perfect. I want to clean up this sun. I'm going to go ahead and add, if I can, I want to take a really light yellow. And then just put that in there. Kind of like so. You can hear my birds. They're not happy. I'm back here painting. So, unfortunately, when you have birds, they can be kind of loud. So, there we go. So, overall thoughts and feelings of this painting. I can say, first lesson, do not drip water onto your paintings. You will not like the effect you get. Okay. And then, second thought. On this paper, note to self, and just as a thought, going back over this. But, okay, note to self. Do not use masking fluid in this particular sketchbook. It tore the paper. Now, the favorite part of mine, I think, out of this piece, I have to admit, is I love the rocks, and I love how naturally it went like to a darker shading through here. Because in the picture, it is relatively dark. So I went ahead and I love the texture in here. I really do. But I needed to go darker. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going darker. And then as of the trees, I just think kind of several coats. So I'm just going back over and kind of darkening up things just a little bit more, trying to blend it in. But overall, I'm very pleased how this turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like what you're seeing and enjoy this content, please hit the like and subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell notification so you can be aware of when I upload videos. So I hope everybody enjoyed. Have a great day, and thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Bye, everyone.